the deal no one wanted. The twin moons of planet Tharnis hung in the dark sky like glowing eyes, watching every secret and every lie. Zyra stood on the palace balcony, her long silver hair dancing in the cold wind. Her heart beat fast. She had just heard the worst news of her life. Her father, General Varen, stood behind her. His voice was calm, but his eyes were tired. "Zyra, you must marry a human," he said. Zyra turned around, shocked. "What did you just say?" "The council has decided," Varen said. "Our family owes a life debt to the humans. It is an old promise signed before you were born. Now they have called for it." Zyra's fists clenched. "So you are selling me to a lower species? To repay a debt?" Varen's face darkened. "It is not a choice, Zyra. If we say no, Tharnis will lose its honor. Our family will fall. We will be cast out. You know what that means." Zyra stepped back. She was a warrior, trained in every weapon since she was 12. She had fought space pirates, crushed rebels, and walked through fire. But this was something she couldn't fight with a sword. "I will not marry a human," she shouted. "I don't care about debt, honor, or your counsel." Her mother, Lady Nyra, entered the room silently. She placed a soft hand on Zyra's shoulder. "Sometimes we must do things we hate to protect the ones we love." Zyra turned her head away. Tears burned her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Later that night, Zyra sat alone in her room. A small robotic bird sat on her shoulder, chirping softly. It was her only friend now. She stared at the stars outside her window, wondering what kind of human she was going to marry. "Ugly? Weak? Stupid? I won't love him," she whispered. "Never." A sudden knock came at the door. Her father entered, holding a small silver cube. "This is from Earth. They sent a message for you," he said. Zyra pressed the cube. A hologram lit up. A male human appeared, tall, calm eyes, a scar across his cheek. His voice was soft. "My name is Ethan. I understand you do not want this marriage. I don't blame you, but I will treat you with respect. This is not just a deal to me." Zyra watched the message in silence. There was no threat in his voice, no pride, just honesty. Confused her. When the hologram ended, she looked at her father. "Why him?" Varen sighed. "Because he asked. And because he is not just any human." Zyra narrowed her eyes. "What do you mean?" Varen didn't answer. He only said, "Be ready. You leave at dawn." The next morning, Zyra stood before the portal chamber. Her bags were packed, her armor polished. No one from her unit came to say goodbye. They didn't know what to say. She was a legend. Now she was a bride. As the glowing portal opened, Zyra took one deep breath. Her heart was cold. She was ready to hate this man, this earth, this future. She stepped through the portal and her world changed forever. On the other side, she found herself in a large glass room filled with light. Earth's sun was warm, gentle, not like the harsh blue rays of Tharnis. And then, she saw him, Ethan. He stood tall in a black jacket, no weapons, no guards, just a simple smile. His eyes met hers, not with power or control, but with something unexpected. Curiosity, and something else. Zyra felt her steps slow. He walked toward her and said, "Welcome to Earth, Zyra." Zyra said nothing. Her brain told her to hate him, but her heart felt something strange. She looked into his eyes, and in that moment she forgot the war. She forgot the debt. She only thought, why? Does he not look like a fool? Before she could say anything, a small voice spoke in her ear, her robotic bird, hidden in her cloak. "Warning. Unknown energy detected. He is not normal." Zyra didn't blink. She kept looking at Ethan, smiling calmly in front of her. But her mind whispered, who is this human really? She thought he would smell like sweat and metal, but instead he smelled like fresh rain. Zyra had imagined this moment 1,000 times. She expected a weak, foolish creature, the kind of human who begged for peace. Someone who would bow, thank her, maybe fear her. After all, she was Zyra of Tharnis, a warrior of fire and storm. But Ethan stood tall. He didn't bow. He didn't tremble. He smiled. "Welcome to Earth, Zyra," he said, voice calm like deep water. Zyra narrowed her eyes. He was nothing like she imagined. His black jacket was simple. No crown. No fancy gold. Just a small silver pin, shaped like a star split in two. She didn't know what it meant, but something about it felt familiar. He walked beside her as they stepped out of the portal station. Earth's sky was bright blue, a strange sight for Zyra, used to the green clouds of Tharnis. "This way," Ethan said. Zyra followed, her back straight, eyes sharp. Her robotic bird hid under her cloak, scanning everything silently. Ethan's home was not a castle, but a quiet house near a lake. Simple, beautiful, the kind of place Zyra didn't believe humans could build. "You live here alone?" she asked. "For now," Ethan replied. "I didn't want guards watching us." Zyra looked at him. That answer was strange. "You trust me not to kill you?" she asked. Ethan laughed. Not loud, not mocking, just real. "If you wanted me dead, I think I'd already be a memory." Zyra almost smiled. Almost. Inside, the walls were filled with books, plants, and glowing panels of alien tech. She noticed one screen flash when she entered. Too fast to read. "What is that?" she asked. "Old data. Stuff I study," Ethan said. He offered her a seat and brought water. No robot servants. No guards. Just him. As Zyra sat, she noticed a long scar on Ethan's neck. It was hidden under his collar, but not well enough. She pointed. "Battle wound." He nodded. "Something like that. You fought in the border war?" "No. Something before that." She wanted to ask more, but something inside told her, "Wait. Watch." Later that night, Zyra explored the house while Ethan cooked. She opened a door by accident and froze. Inside was a lab. Not just human tech. No, this was Tharnis level. Weapons, scanners, maps of distant star systems. She saw a chart of Tharnis ships. Another of energy patterns, patterns only her people knew. And then, a voice behind her. "I was going to show you this tomorrow," Ethan said. Zyra turned slowly. "You spy on my people?" she asked. "I prepare," Ethan replied. "For what?" He didn't answer. Instead, he walked over and picked up a small silver pendant. It had a blue gem that pulsed slowly. He handed it to her. "This was made for you. I started it a year ago." Zyra didn't take it. "You knew we would marry?" "I hoped. I studied Tharnis culture. Your counsel was weak. Your father desperate. The debt was my chance to meet you." Zyra felt heat rise in her chest. Anger, confusion, fear. "So this was your plan? A trick?" "No," Ethan said softly. "A gamble." She looked at the pendant. The blue light inside seemed to beat like a heart. "It's more than jewelry," he added. "It's protection. From what's coming." "What's coming?" she asked. Ethan walked to the window. Outside, the lake reflected stars like a mirror. "There's a war coming, Zyra, but not between Earth and Tharnis." He turned to her. "It's coming from inside your world." Zyra froze, and then her bird beeped. A hidden signal detected. She turned to the corner of the lab, eyes scanning. A small device was recording them. Not Ethan's. It carried the mark of the Tharnis Intelligence Corps. Her own people were spying on her. Zyra looked at Ethan. "Did you know?" He nodded once. "I didn't bring you here to trap you. I brought you here because you need to see the truth." Zyra never believed in comfort. She believed in war, in survival, in winning. But tonight, wrapped in a soft earth blanket, watching stars from a window in a house that didn't feel like prison, she felt something strange. Safe. It scared her more than any weapon. Days passed slowly on Earth. There were no alarms, no soldiers shouting her name, no battles to plan. Zyra spent most of her time observing. The lake, the trees, the people in the distance who waved but didn't approach. And Ethan. He was always nearby, but never too close. He gave her space, and somehow she hated that he made her feel seen. One morning, She woke to the smell of earth food, warm, soft bread and something sweet. Zyra stepped into the kitchen and saw Ethan flipping pancakes. "I researched Tharnis meals," he said. "But you don't exactly have breakfast where you're from." Zyra raised an eyebrow. "You want to feed me now? What next? Flowers?" Ethan smiled. "Do you like flowers?" Zyra stared at him for a second, and then laughed. Just once. A short, sharp sound that surprised even her. Ethan's eyes lit up. "I wasn't sure you could laugh," he said. "I wasn't sure humans could cook," she replied. They ate in silence, the kind that wasn't heavy, just calm. Later, Ethan showed her something strange, a human tradition. "Dance," he said. Zyra frowned. "What kind of training is that?" "It's not training. It's just movement. With feeling." He played music from an old speaker. Slow, soft tones filled the room. Zyra hesitated, then placed her hand in his. Her warrior fingers, rough and scarred, touched his warm human skin. They moved, slowly, not perfectly, but in that moment, Zyra felt her armor crack. Not the one on her body, the one around her heart. That night, she walked alone in the garden behind the house. Her bird flew beside her, scanning quietly. "Why do you smile more here?" it asked. Zyra didn't answer, because she didn't know. One evening, as red clouds covered the sunset, Ethan took her to the edge of the lake. "I want to show you something," he said. He pulled a metal device from his jacket and pressed it. A hologram appeared, bright and complex. Zyra's eyes widened. It was a star map, but not just any map. It showed secret Tharnis patrol routes, hidden weapon vaults, military weak points. She stepped back. "Where did you get this?" "I built it," Ethan said. "That's not possible. I was trained off-world. Not all humans are simple." Zyra's mind raced. "Why are you showing me this?" "Because I trust you now," he said. "And you need to know, Tharnis is not your enemy." Zyra's voice dropped. "My family is Tharnis." Ethan stepped closer. "And they lied to you." She turned away, but Ethan wasn't finished. "You told me once that you don't believe in love. I still don't. Then why are you still here?" Silence. Zyra didn't answer, because deep inside her, where the warrior didn't live, something had begun to bloom. Something dangerous. Later that night, she couldn't sleep. Her body was still, but her thoughts were not. So she walked back to the lab. And that's when she saw it. Ethan talking to someone. A hooded figure on the screen. Distorted voice. "We need more time," Ethan said. "She's not ready. Your window is closing," the figure warned. "If she finds out the truth on her own, she will turn on you." "I won't lie to her," Ethan replied. Zyra felt her throat tighten. She stepped back into the shadows, heart racing. What truth? Who was Ethan really working with? She returned to her room, closed the door, stared at the pendant he gave her. The blue light was pulsing faster now. She touched it, and for the first time it responded with a soft voice. "Energy detected. Hybrid signature confirmed. Protection active." Hybrid? She was Tharnis-born, but something inside her wasn't. She whispered into the darkness. "What have you done to me, Ethan?" Zyra was trained to detect lies. She could smell fear, hear changes in a heartbeat, even sense dishonor in silence. But Ethan, he didn't lie. He simply didn't tell everything. And that was worse. The next morning, Zyra didn't speak a word. She acted normal, helped Ethan in the garden, listened to his quiet jokes, even accepted a strange earth drink called tea. But inside, she was breaking. The words from last night echoed in her skull. "If she finds out the truth on her own, she will turn on you." She already had. Later that day, she stood at the lake alone. Her robotic bird landed on her shoulder. "Pulse unstable," it said. "Emotions conflicted." She whispered, "He lied to me." "Correct. What else is he hiding?" "Unknown. But danger probability has increased by 37%. Zyra stared into the water. Her reflection looked calm, but her hands were shaking. That evening, she returned to the lab. Alone. She scanned Ethan's system. Security was tight, but not tighter than Tharnas military networks. She was still a soldier, and no lock could hold her. What she found changed everything. Files marked with her name. Records from Tharnas. Scans of her DNA. But not just hers. Her mother's. Her father's. And another one, a match Zyra didn't understand. The file said, Subject Z0. Origin, pre-Tharnas. Hybrid. Confirmed. She stepped back. Heart pounding. Suddenly, behind her, a voice. I was going to tell you, Ethan said. Zyra spun around, her hand ready to strike. Tell me what? She said, eyes burning. Ethan didn't move. You're not who you think you are, he said quietly. Then tell me, who am I? Ethan walked slowly toward the screen. He tapped a few buttons. A hologram appeared. Her mother's face, younger, afraid, standing beside a human. Zyra stared. That's not possible, she whispered. My mother would never. She did, Ethan said. Before Tharnas rose to power. Before your family changed history. Zyra's head was spinning. You're saying I'm part human? More than part, Ethan said. You're the bridge. She laughed bitterly. No, I'm a weapon. A soldier. I'm not made for peace. But peace needs weapons, he said. And it needs someone like you to lead it. She turned away, breathing hard. You tricked me. You planned this. No, he said. I protected you. Your own people have been tracking you. They fear what you are. Because of you, she shouted. You made me doubt them. They made you a prisoner, Ethan replied. I gave you the truth. Suddenly, alarms blared. Zyra's bird beeped fast. Incoming energy surge. Tharnas ship detected. High-level scan engaged. Zyra ran to the window. In the sky, a shadow appeared. Long, sharp, glowing red. The Tharnas war drone. They found her. Ethan pressed a button. Shields activated around the house. You brought them here, Zyra growled. No, Ethan said. You brought them. They've been watching you since the day you left. Zyra stared at him. Then what now? We run, he said. She looked at him again. And for the first time, she didn't know if she could trust him. But she also knew she had no one else left. Inside the house, the pendant around her neck began to glow. Blue at first, then violet. Her bird whispered. Power source awakened. Hybrid sequence initiated. Zyra dropped to her knees, her body shaking. Energy flowed through her veins. Her skin glowed faintly. Ethan rushed to her side. It's starting, he said. What is? Your real form. She looked up at him. What am I becoming? Zyra didn't dream. Warriors didn't have time for dreams. Only orders. But now, she was dreaming. In colors she had never seen. Hearing voices from a time before she was born. And in that dream, someone whispered, Run, daughter of two worlds. They will come to erase you. Zyra gasped awake. Blue light still glowed under her skin. Fading now, but her body felt different. Stronger. Lighter. Like her blood had been rewritten. Ethan stood beside her, holding a shield tablet. They'll break through in 9 minutes, he said. Zyra stood. Her voice was cold again. Then we don't have 10. Outside, the Tharnas war drone circled above like a vulture waiting for weakness. Ethan pulled open a hidden panel under the floor, revealing a sleek metallic case. What's that? Zyra asked. He opened it. Inside was a small sphere with golden lines. It hummed with energy. Stargate key, he said. Portable, illegal, and very old. You stole Tharnas tech? She said, surprised. I didn't steal it, Ethan replied. I built it. Zyra stared at him again. This human who wasn't just human. This man who somehow knew her better than anyone else. Where does it lead? A planet called Solvan 9. No patrols. No cameras. Safe zone for at least 48 hours. Zyra nodded. Then let's go. They ran to the transport pad at the back of the house. Zyra's robotic bird flew beside them, chirping warnings. Shield failing. Incoming strike in 7 minutes. As they reached the gate, the war drone fired a warning beam into the ground. Just a few meters away, the earth shook. Trees burned. Birds scattered. They're serious, Ethan said. They think I'm a threat now, Zyra replied. You are, he said. To their lies. As Ethan activated the gate, Zyra turned and looked at the burning sky. They will follow us. I know, he said. Then we need to disappear. He looked at her. I have a way. But before he could explain, a figure stepped out of the smoke behind them. Tall, armored, and glowing red. Zyra froze. She knew that armor. Commander Rivex, her former fiancé, her father's most loyal general, and the last person she ever wanted to see again. Well, Rivex said. His voice echoed like metal. Running away with your pet human, Zyra? Zyra stepped forward. Leave, Rivex. You have no right to hunt me. Rivex laughed. No right? I was promised you. I was made for you. I'd rather marry a black hole, she snapped. Ethan stood beside her. We don't want to fight. Oh, Rivex smiled. But I do. Before anyone could move, Rivex launched forward, fast like a missile. Zyra met him midair. Their blades clashed in a spark of blue and red energy. Ethan shouted, I'll finish the gate. Zyra fought like fire, but Rivex was stronger than before. He had upgrades, new tech, maybe even dark matter enhancements. You're different, Rivex said between strikes. What have you become? Zyra blocked his blade, then kicked him back. Something you'll never understand. With a roar, she unleashed the hidden power inside her. Her body pulsed. Her eyes turned silver. The pendant on her chest exploded with light. She struck him hard, sending him crashing into the trees. Ethan called out, Zyra, gate's ready. 10 seconds. She ran back, panting, bruised, glowing. I hope he survives, Ethan said. I hope he doesn't, Zyra replied. Together, they stepped into the gate. Just before the portal closed, Zyra looked back one last time. Rivex was standing again, watching her with rage. This isn't over, he shouted. The gate closed. Silence. They landed on Solvan 9, a quiet planet with purple skies and soft sand. Zyra collapsed to her knees, breathing hard. Ethan sat beside her. You okay? He asked. She looked at him. You lied to me, but you also saved me. I'll keep doing both, he said, trying to smile. Zyra didn't laugh this time. Instead, she asked, How many more secrets are you hiding, Ethan? He looked at her. His smile faded, and softly he said, Only one. They didn't give her wings. They gave her scars. But she still learned to fly. Zyra stood at the edge of a glowing cliff on Solvan 9, her body still marked from the fight with Commander Rivex. The purple wind moved through her silver hair like whispers from another world. And for the first time in her life, she didn't feel like someone else's weapon. She felt like her own. Behind her, Ethan worked quietly, setting up defense drones and checking energy levels. He hadn't spoken much since they escaped. Zyra turned to him. You said you had one more secret. Ethan paused. He looked up at her, then reached into his pocket. Slowly, carefully, he pulled out a small metallic disc, silver, cracked, old. He pressed it. A hologram lit the air, showing Zyra's mother holding a baby. But not just any baby. A half-human, half-Tharnus child with glowing eyes and silver veins. Zyra stepped closer. What is this? Ethan's voice was quiet. It's you. The hologram changed. Now, her mother stood with a human man. His face was blurry, damaged by time. That's your real father, Ethan said. He wasn't Tharnus. He was human, a scientist, brilliant, hunted. Zyra's lips parted, but no words came out. He discovered something the Tharnus government feared, Ethan continued. A way to break the genetic control systems. Free soldiers from the mind chains. Zyra's eyes widened. The chain code. The reason warriors never rebel. Yes, Ethan nodded. He cracked it, and then he disappeared. Your mother hid the truth. Buried it so deep. Not even you knew. Zyra's hands trembled. So I was never pure? You were never meant to be, Ethan said. You were meant to be more. That night, Zyra walked alone into the alien jungle. Her pendant pulsed slowly, not warning now but calling. She followed it to a stone structure, half buried in sand. The carvings were ancient, older than Tharnis, older than Earth tech. Inside, she found a chamber, and in the center, a platform. She stepped onto it. The pendant activated. The air filled with light, and a voice spoke. Not from speakers, but from inside her mind. Z0 protocol unlocked. Hybrid authority confirmed. Combat limiters disabled. Zyra screamed as energy surged through her. But it wasn't pain. It was awakening. Images flashed. Battles from before her time. Planets lost to control, memories of rebels who died unknown. And in the center of it all, her. Zyra. The one they tried to bury. The one they feared would rise. And now she had. When she returned to the camp, Ethan turned and froze. Her eyes glowed white. Her voice carried a deeper echo. I know who I am now, she said. And I know what they're afraid of. Ethan stepped forward. What are you going to do? Zyra looked up at the stars. I'm going to burn down everything that kept me in chains. The next morning, a signal came through their emergency comm device. A voice crackled through, weak, desperate. It was Lady Nyra, Zyra's mother. Zyra, you must listen. Tharnis is lying to you. They have already labeled you a traitor. The Council has approved a strike on Earth. Zyra's heart dropped. They want to make Earth a warning, Nyra continued. They know you care for him. They're using it. Ethan stepped closer. We have to go back. Zyra clenched her fists. I'm done running, she said. Let them come. But Earth isn't ready for them, Ethan warned. Zyra turned, her eyes like fire. Then I'll get it ready. She activated her old warrior comm link. To all hidden Tharnis soldiers who once dreamed of freedom, I'm not dead. I'm alive. And I'm awake. I am Zyra, daughter of two worlds. If you hear this, know, you are not alone. It's time. The message flew across space, echoing in every secret ear, every chained heart. The revolution had begun. And at its center stood a woman who was no longer afraid to become what she was born to be. It didn't begin with love. It began with a deal, a chain, a lie, a war. But now, Zyra was no one's soldier, no one's bride, and no one's weapon. She was the spark, and the galaxy was ready to burn. Zyra stood on the command deck of an old rebel ship, its walls cracked, its lights flickering but alive. Around her stood soldiers, Tharnis defectors, Earth freedom fighters, and even a few alien rogues who once believed peace was impossible. All of them now watched her. She wasn't wearing armor anymore. She didn't need it. The energy inside her had changed, evolved. Ethan walked beside her, calm but focused. Signals confirmed, he said. Tharnis fleet enters Earth orbit in 3 hours. Zyra nodded. They expect us to hide. We won't. She smirked. No. We'll welcome them. On Earth, cities buzzed with panic. But underground, something else moved. An alliance. Quietly armed. Quietly angry. Quietly ready. Zyra's message had spread like a virus. People who never dared speak now stood together. Tharnis slaves. Earth rebels. Scientists. Farmers. Exiles. And for the first time, they had a leader who was not born to command, but built to defy. When the Tharnis mothership arrived, it was like a black sun in the sky. Huge, silent, casting a shadow that reached across oceans. Zyra and Ethan flew up in a stealth craft, straight toward it. No shields, Ethan asked. Zyra shook her head. Let them see me. As they approached, the enemy ship opened its gates. She was expected. Inside, Commander Rivex waited, still wounded from their last battle, but standing tall in polished war armor. You should have stayed hidden, he said. You should have stayed afraid, Zyra replied. He laughed. This time, I'm ready. So am I. The two clashed in the heart of the mothership, Blades, fists, fire. But Rivex was no longer faster. Zyra didn't just fight. She commanded energy now, her pendant burning bright, her blood roaring like stars exploding. Rivex struck hard, but Zyra struck with purpose. "You were made to kill," he shouted. "No," she said, dodging a blast and slicing through his shield. "I was made to end killers like you." Her final blow cracked his core armor, sending him crashing to the deck. He looked up, bloodied. "If you kill me, you become me." Zyra stared down, and then she did the most unexpected thing of all. She walked away. "I'm not your reflection, Rivex. I'm the future you were too weak to imagine." Back on Earth, people watched the Tharnis fleet hover, then retreat. The war ended not with an explosion, but with a silence louder than any weapon. The old ways died in that silence, and something new was born. Weeks later, Zyra sat beside Ethan in a field of earth flowers. The sky was clear. The galaxy was watching. "You think they'll let it stay peaceful?" he asked. "No," she said, "but we'll be ready when they try." He looked at her hands, strong, scarred, glowing faintly. "You're still changing." Zyra nodded. "The hybrid code never sleeps." He smiled. "Good. The galaxy's going to need you." Zyra looked at the horizon and whispered, "Then it's a good thing I'm not done yet." Final twist, optional ending seed. As they walked back toward the ship, Zyra's pendant flashed red for the first time. Her robotic bird beeped sharply. Unknown signal detected. Origin, uncharted galaxy. Message reads. Pause. Z0, you are not the only one. Zyra and Ethan stopped, and for the first time since it all began, Zyra smiled with curiosity, not fear.